Welcome everyone, glad to have you here. Am I visible and audible to you all? Yes, everybody? Where are you all? I think it's good. Students, so let's start the class. Let's begin. One of you said that our book has launched. Yes, as I told you, it's that only. There is no problem. And yes, there is only one book. We have combined the books. First, books were separate, later we merged them. Don't worry about that. Everything is present. So how are you all? Did you do the revision of first class? Whether you do the revision or not, I'll make sure that you always do it. And that too cumulatively. It means until the whole chapter is completed. And all the previous concepts are once revised. Is it clear? So let's begin. Let's start with the discussion. Today's class is on our YouTube channel. And all classes after this, like I said, in upcoming week from Monday, we will give all of these classes. And it's given in app. And yes, from now on the classes will be conducted 5 times in a week. But not now. It will be 5 times. From next Monday. For now, schedule will remain the same as before. And students, as you already know, that the results have been announced. Due to all this result announcement of CA Foundation, we were busy. We were also busy with urgent work yesterday. So students currently in the upcoming time, we might be busy today and tomorrow, but otherwise, starting from Monday, we have proper classes every day from Monday to Friday and at same time. So let's start. But the timings can change and we might shuffle it. It means that I can take Avinash sir's slot and he can take mine, but it has some time. For now, you can do it according to this routine. We'll decide what to do next. Okay, so let's go over the last class one more time. Let's talk about it. Students, what did we study in the last class? We studied cost accounting as a subject. We studied its introduction. Remember, it has 2 words, cost and accounting. So when we are doing financial accounting, so then why will we do that? And why do we need to do the cost accounting separately? And also what is there on the app? Himanshu, I didn't get you. What is there on the app? Classes are there on app. Right now we have 2-3 classes and the highest is on YouTube. After that, only registered students will be able to access all the classes on the app. So if you are a registered student, then you will get all the links and all the classes will be conducted there only. Backups and live classes will also be provided in it. All right. So I was talking about cost. We need to understand the word. And in cost accounting, we know the meaning of word cost in our personal lives also. And we have often come across different individuals who states that cost is nothing but expenditure. Right, guys? Hence, clarification regarding expense is very important. Look, what happens is that the way of referring to cost, different people say it differently. For example, our Avinash sir, he refers to cost in so many different ways. Like he says operating cost and non-operating cost, then normal cost and abnormal cost. Then controllable cost, uncontrollable cost. Then he tells us about the revenue, then the expenditure or the capital expenditure and many more. So due to this, there are many types of costs based on different concepts. So students, if I talk about the classifications, then the classifications given in our syllabus. We will do it time to time. I won't make you write everything at once. And when it is required, only then we will write the notes. For now, we will be only focusing on the important things and concepts. And when there is the right time to study that particular concept or topic, when it is relevant. Or if we have any topic in our syllabus which is relevant for the sums or for the chapter, then we will study it for sure. And now we will discuss about the classification of cost. It is a very interesting topic to study. You will really enjoy it. If we talk about this classification of cost, then in that you have done the meaning of cost and what amounts are considered as costs. Its accounting was done under the financial accounting. You will think that why am I teaching this separately? The same thing what Avinash sir has already taught you. Students, look, Avinash sir teaches in his own unique way and I teach you in my own way. So Avinash sir teaches you the public documents, that is how external records are prepared. So that means the rules and laws that govern the financial accounting, like the Companies Act and the accounting standards, that is crucial. And through that, we are being told that how do we prepare these financial statements? That is a public document. Everybody can easily see it and you can simply open Google and can search for the financial statements of any company you want. But whenever you will check it, you will not be able to find their cost accounting records. It's because that is an internal record. So what is the meaning of internal record? The internal record, it is the record which is only known to the company's management. So all of the stakeholders who are working in the company, they know about it as per their position. And it is shared only with as many people as needed, not beyond that. But the owners and the board of directors, they know everything about it. And this role, this work, why is it so important? And why is it important that it stays inside company? It's because this includes a lot of detailing. It includes purchases made, at what rate is it purchased, how much quantity is ordered at once, how much time does it take to arrive, what is the cost of transportation, how are wages paid, how was such high quality achieved in such short time, which machines were used for it, how much time is spent, what is the usual size of work like, how much is produced at one time. All these decisions are taken. So if all this information goes out in market and all competitors and the customers find out about all this, then it's loss for company. So due to this, the company keeps all these things internal. Question is that how are these internal records maintained? And the simplest way to maintain these records is on the paper. It means generally all these things are written either on the simple sheets or it is written as the rough work on any notebook. But if we do rough work like this in big organizations, and if the board members or the management changes in between, people will leave and join the company, then how will they understand it? So it also has proper presentation and it also has a rough work. We will start with rough work, and when we will start with first chapter, then we will learn the cost sheet and we will learn to write the expenses on paper. And after that we will do cost accounting as the last chapter, which doesn't mean that we will do it last in set. We'll do it after this is done. And if all these things are to be written systematically, then how should we write it? Did you understand that what we have to do in this? Now the question is, for whom do we need to do cost accounting system? And do all businessmen, all those in the service industry do this work? No, they don't. Generally the traders, whether they are wholesalers or retailers, they don't think much about it because they sell finished goods as finished goods. But those who are the manufacturers, the people that you can say are the producers of the goods, and for them cost accounting system is important because they convert raw material into finished goods. And if all the expenses and all departments calculations are not done properly, then it will create a lot of problem for the business and you won't be able to do business. If you want to, then calculate it properly and you have to decide the selling price properly considering the margin. The second one is the service industry, and there also calculations are very important because here people don't even know that what is the cost and then they face the loss. So because of this we will be working on all of this, and here we will be focusing more on the manufacturing, and one chapter is also on the service. We will discuss manufacturing and service industry and we are going to learn about their costing. We will first learn about the costing of manufacturing industry. I have given you an example of Aditya Birla company. As I mentioned their products, for example Ellen Solly, where they make shirts, t-shirts and trousers. In that case, when we look at their profit and loss statement, then it includes the total sales, total cost and then the gross profit. There are other costs of the operating nature and there are costs of non-operating nature. There is non-operating income and net profit. So there is GP, net profit and company's overall data. Cost accounting states that since financial accounting is only talking about the whole company, we will go into the details, we will extract things product wise and we'll do its analysis. We will estimate the cost product wise, calculate it, add the desired profit, and then we will decide on the selling price. If the selling price and the cost are decided, then we think about what could be the possible profit. Accordingly, we will create this statement where we work on an estimated basis. And does the cost work on an estimated basis? Yes, it does. What is the work of cost? It acts as an astrologer. But how astrologer? They make future predictions, right? Your astrologer, company's astrologer. And like how astrologers look at your hand, we also pay them money to tell us that what will happen in our future. If astrologer tells you by seeing your hand that this has happened in past, you won't enjoy that. You will be interested in knowing what happens in future. I'll share one experience with a student. It was discussed in the class. They were talking about the same thing. So one fine day, some of the students at the inter level, they were talking amongst themselves. They said, keep your hands like this. What they meant to say, that join both the hands in this way. And this curve here, look how that forms here. How dark is it or how light is it? But why? He said that an astrologer told him that if it's dark, then your partner will be pretty. And if it is light, then you will not get a pretty partner. So in that way, they were making fun of all this. They were laughing and making jokes about it. People look at hands and do all this. What do they tell? They tell about future. People say that if there are these lines here, so this will happen. All these things that we hear. Due to all of that future predictions and palm reading, we pay them and we call them astrologers, right? So what do? They make us a little cautious about our future. They give us hints about it. And accordingly, we will discuss all these things. But what can we do in this current situation? We cannot read company's hands. What does company have in its possession? It has the data. And we will analyze that data and tell them what to do for the future and how much work to do so that everything is streamlined. As CMA, you will also be doing the same thing in the company. It means you will be company's astrologer and you will make estimations. You will tell people that what should they do to get maximum returns. So this is how you can help company. So you will be paid for the same thing, not for recording the past data, because accountants are doing that and software is doing it. Software cannot tell that what might happen in the future. For that your brain, your analysis is needed and nothing else. So cost accounting system, financial management and strategic management are all top management work. It is present at middle management also. But most people want to quickly move to the top level of management. And for that, they should have huge amount of financial knowledge. Like you hear, there is CEO or CFO of the company. And there is director and they are at higher position. So with time you will get there. And to do all these things, we are going to study this subject. We will also study such subjects in group 2. So it will be interesting. So if you are asking that you want to earn the money and what should be done in order to get that, you should get knowledge and learn things very well. Keep making the notes and try to revise everything we have done in the class. And don't see this just as a subject. Try to see this as your future that you have to earn from this. Why did you want to get a degree? To earn money. But how will you earn by only showing your degree? You will go to the company, show them your degree and tell them we are CMA, give us money. No, you can't. You have to work and you have to make predictions. If you say you have degree but you don't know how to do predictions, there is no place for you. So gain knowledge as well. And now is the right time. It's a new subject, a new day. Gain as much as you can. And when you will get the practical experience, when you do internships, you will get to learn a lot. I had already discussed this with you. And I said that now we will go product wise, where we have shirts, t-shirts and trousers. And its expenses like material, then labor, overhead, which includes factory overhead. It means indirect expenses. But you'll say that I didn't explain it. Students, I will be explaining this, don't worry. So don't get confused. I'm talking about basic expenses. Then I told you about office and admin, then about selling and distribution. But again, I have not explained this yet. We will learn it, just write it down for now. And if we total their expenses and compared them to sales, then we got to know that overall profit is there. But one product, that is the t-shirt, it is giving us the loss. Trousers and shirts are profitable. So what should we do for making the decisions about all this? We are introducing cost accounting system. I had given some objectives for the cost accounting system, where I had told you to calculate their cost product wise, then profit product wise, and then sales product wise. And along with that, we will make several decisions based on this. Let's say if there is cost reduction or if cost control is possible, then do it. But the quality should not be hampered. if we can do it this way. And if some products are loss making, should we continue with them or should we discontinue directly? If there's a loss, then we should not discontinue. We should analyze it. If our decision is to discontinue after the analysis, then its resources should be used for which product? Like from our other two remaining products, which one should we use those resources for? We should use it on the one where the comparative value is higher. And we will calculate comparative value through ratios. So by calculating ratios or using financial tools, we calculate ratios and then judge it. Now let's talk about if we want to continue, we try to upgrade this from time to time. How can we upgrade this further so that this also becomes a profit making product? So we had laid down the objectives of cost accounting systems in the last class. Our class ended here and we had complete revision of last class. We revised for about 10 to 12 minutes. Take a look at it, everybody, and tell me. Did you recall the last class? Please tell me. Let's go. Very good. So if you all have understood all these points, and in today's class, we are going to further discuss about the topic we left off last time, which was objectives of cost accounting, correct? The heading number I gave you was 4, meaning I told you that we are going over the basics, where we had noted down 1, 2, 3, 4, we had noted total 4 points. Now we will be going over topic number 5. So start writing topic number 5. And there you will write behavior wise cost. What will you write? Behavior wise cost. Behavior wise cost. And they are also called variability. What is it called? Variability wise cost, meaning cost on the basis of variability. Cost based on variability. Yes, Vritika, Shivam, Nishant, Shayan, Shrivan, Jun, and Apurva, Tejas, Sheetal, and Himanshu. Very nice meaning. Keep attending like this daily. You all are doing great. This is a guarantee, as Avinash sir and I are saying that we will ensure that you definitely clear the exam. There is no chance of you failing. Remember the promise you all made on the first day that you will never miss class and you will attend class every day. Whenever I tell you, just attend the class. Just do this much. Come on. Variability wise, or you can say behavior wise cost. What is behavior? Behavior means what? Is it conduct? Yes. Just like we judge our friends, we judge people around us. We pass comments on how they are or how they look. We pass comments like they are feeling jealous. He's too possessive. Look at him, he's too cunning. Look at them, they are just a little too smart. Look at him, he is a troublemaker. So like this, when we judge someone and talk about their behavior with others, then we talk about behavior. You always talk about bad things. You never say how cute someone is. You never say what a good boy he is, or you never say how good she is. Do you ever say this is smart behavior wise and that he is very smart, and you only mumble and fumble every time? So students, that's just a name given to you out of love. Yes, you all are very good. And it is very important to be a good person, behavior wise. And be down to earth, help everyone, and then see. Your behavior will be the best. So behavior wise, we will learn a lot about cost, and hence, just like we judge people's behavior, we also need to judge the behavior of cost. So how can we judge the behavior of cost? Listen carefully. So if we need to know the cost's behavior, just like we talk about friends, that do you know what happened? We talk about things. Like we used to roam around, we used to hang out. When we were in school, our friends used to talk to us. Now since we are grown-ups, we have entered professional life, everyone's priorities have changed. We have seen who are our true friends and who are the bad friends. Or those who were with us during good times but not during bad times. You talk a lot about this stuff. You guys gossip among yourselves. You backbite each other. So this particular thing you do with your friends, cost does the same thing. Does the cost behave the same? Yes. The cost presents and checks itself in two situations. And that in these two situations, how does it takes itself, meaning it is considering its own values and we judge its behavior accordingly. We judge its behavior based on that. Meaning, to judge the cost in terms of behavior, either sums will tell themselves that this cost is this, I mean its behavior is this, what is it, I'm not telling it yet. Sums will tell us in the brackets about its behavior, meaning that it has this nature and behavior. But if question is not written and we have to judge, so we always need two situations. Tell me what is situation when it comes to cost. I would say that what are the two situations regarding the cost? What can you say? What does cost mean situation wise? I mean, how do we calculate the cost? In how many different ways? So when do we know what is its behavior? Can you think about this? Are we calculating the cost behavior wise? What are we trying to find? So when do we need the cost? I want you to tell me the answer. If you cannot answer, then we will tell you its behavior. We haven't understood the meaning of behavior yet. I give another word for behavior, which is variability, so that you can understand. Variability means change. The change in cost, variance and variability. All right. How do you find out the change in cost? How is the change? And for that, what two data do you need? From this you can tell. In the sense, two data means two values at one point. And then with this you will be able to judge their variability. You will also be able to judge their behavior. We can find out the change. What data do you need? If you need expenses, then how much expense do you need? Two expenses. At what level do you need two? I mean, what do you need? Through this you can tell that now you can judge the behavior. Tell me. I asked you a very simple question. So tell me. Think about it. You need to learn to use your mind. And about this, do some thorough research on the topic and also talk to yourself. Profit loss. We got profit loss as an answer. For the cost, what will you do knowing profit or loss, Shivam? You also need to know sales for that. I don't say we need profit or loss. What will happen knowing that? There is no benefit in that. Okay? Anybody else has any questions? It's good that Shivam is always trying. I like your attitude of always wanting to try. And this is the benefit because of which you cleared foundation and you will clear enter also, even if you are wrong. But one day you will be right. A very good thing. Apurva said something good. What did he say? Let's listen to it. Apurva, I want to ask. If you are a boy or a girl, please let me know, so that I can continue to make the gender specifications in the future according to that. We can tell the total cost and how much is it per minute. Yes, it is a very good way. Secondly, Himanshu's answer was very good. He said that we can tell by checking the data for 2 years. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Shivam, I'm very sorry. Shivrajun, you have already told me about the type C, but I do not need that. What data do you need so that you can tell me these types? Apurva is typing that I'm just a boy. Calculate probability. What to calculate? That's what I'm asking. What to calculate? Which means on what basis you can do calculations. So I have heard from Himanshu and Apurva, your answer was a little bit good. At least you both tried. Good. Sales is not related to this, Ritika, as I explained. Shivam, sales is not at all related. No. What do you want to say? Listen carefully. Here we need the same capacity or units, which we call is the capacity we have and how many units can we produce. Meaning we need to tell this. So if we suppose, please don't write, just listen to this here. Units, and you are specifying the total cost of it. Do you all understand? So if I tell you that on 10,000 units, a particular expense. So any expense, what does total cost mean? Any particular expense. I'm not mentioning the expense which is not relevant. Names we mentioned like material and labor. What else? Like wages and overhead was used. Whatever names are there. I don't care about that right now. It's an X cost. A cost. Let's say it's A, which is cost A. The name of cost A is not relevant. We need to understand its behavior. What is in the name? What will we do by knowing the name? We will do that once too. We will know the cost element wise. Nature wise, which is based on its name. So don't hurry right now. Let's say we have a cost. It can be XYZ. I don't know. Whatever it may be, for making 10,000 units of that, and the cost is 1 lakh rupees. How much is it? Tell me. It is 1 lakh rupees. So can any one of you tell me what is the behavior of this cost? No? Then let me do one thing and tell you that why are we keeping 10,000 rupees at 1 lakhs? So let's say if you are making 20,000, in a way you are doubling the units. What is the cost of this? Like, let me show you. Let's see what is the right answer. Suppose 1,000 is spent from 20 lakh rupees. Let's say 2 lakhs are spent on 20,000 rupees. So tell me, now is any one of you are able to judge its behavior a little bit? Meaning, as soon as I gave a set of units and told you the cost for them, so behavior cannot be judged. But as soon as I gave you the second set and in one of them I did something, I kept 1 lakh and another as 2 lakhs. So can you tell me about this situation? If I talk about the first case, case 1, this is the case 1 and this is case 2. So tell me, under case 1, under case 1 or case A. So this particular cost which we have discussed as cost A, B and C, what kind of cost could this be? And under case B, what kind of cost could this be? Can you all judge this? Can you tell about its behavior? Like we talk about a person being very stubborn. This doesn't change. It remains the same, and look, it is sloping down. As the units increase, this is also sloping down. What did you call this cost? You must remember this. You have studied this in economics. Now you must be remembering, you can connect now. And you have studied all of this in economics, right? So tell me, what do you call these expenses? Very good. You both are good. Sheetal and Shivam. Shivranju, you were talking about this, but Shivranju, I did not need this. I needed to know that what do we discuss to extract this? Exactly. Okay, everyone is doing great. Very good. Very good. Do you now understand what I'm trying to say? Tell me, what was the answer to my question? The answer to my question is not whether it is fixed or variable. The answer to that is, if you know the cost for 2 sets of units, and that is for anything at all, if you know the expense or cost of any particular element, any particular thing, in what? In 2 sets of units. So you can judge its behavior. Am I audible? You should reply with yes or no. Are you understanding? If there is only 1 set of units, so then you cannot judge, then there is only one way. It will tell you itself that this is the only cost that is coming on this set of units. On this set of units, variable or fixed. Is it clear, everyone? The point is absolutely clear. It's sinking in. And if you keep this basic strong, then you will find the further topic smooth like butter. As my name says, it means butter. Let's go. Now, when I was asking this to you all, then it occurred to me that if you need to judge the variability of the cost, then you need at least 2 sets of cost under 2 sets of units or capacity. These units are also called capacity or limits. So you might want me to use a more sophisticated term. You guys are studying, right? We are Indians, we understand all these things only, right? If you guys are a bit sophisticated, then you can call the word limit as capacity. But if I go by the literal meaning, then it means limit. If our capacity is to make this much, then what is the cost? So we also call this capacity. Now come. Now we will note down all the points that I have explained, and then we will write this in the exam. Okay? Start. To identify. To identify behavior wise. Cost. We require at least means minimum. If more is given, that's fine, but at least how much is needed, that we'll see. At least dash cost data at dash capacity level and volume level. That means unit. Quantity. Everyone tell me, these two fill in the blanks. The answer is same in both. The answer to both fill in the blanks is same. At least this much is required. If more is given, that's fine as per the question, but it should be this much minimum. So tell me, how much data do we need? We need a minimum of 2 data at 2 capacity levels. 2. Very good. Very good, everyone. I must really appreciate that. So why did we say at least? It's because if sums are even more, that's okay. We need at least 2. But if only one is given, then it won't be told and you have to tell yourself. Meaning, if one set of data is given, then sums will provide you with the behavior of the cost. Do you understand this? The question will tell if only one data is given. Then it will write in brackets itself that these are the following behaviors, and then we don't have to worry. But if it is on us to judge this, then what we are going to discuss is what I want to ask. Is it clear? Perfect, everybody? Now we'll write it down. Therefore, as per behavior wise cost, okay, the cost, we can divide it into 3 different parts. But it was only 2. Don't worry, I'm telling you that. Divide into 3 parts. And first one which I'm writing here is fixed cost. Okay, fixed cost. Then another one that will be written here is variable cost. And then I'll tell you this third cost. Leave it blank for now. I will discuss this. First tell me, you said fixed and variable costs yourself, right? Okay. So these fixed costs, like you just mentioned, and what are the different types of expenses generally incurred in a business? Now I am talking in general terms. This is not necessarily always a valid point, so please don't write this down. For example, I'm telling you about a fixed cost. For our company, which is Navin Classes, we are doing business, we are working professionally who are doing business and providing services. So when we are managing entrepreneurship, then let's see what are the fixed costs. So we have our team of several members where we pay the salaries of our team members with whom we do our work. Without them, we are nothing. The remuneration we pay them is a fixed cost for us because that is our monthly fixed cost which we pay. And that does not depend on our units. That means it does not depend on the number of students. For example, let's say the rent of the place where you are teaching and you don't own the property. It is that place where you are teaching through a rental agreement and staying there on lease. So the rent there also does not depend on our students. Perfect. So these are some examples of fixed costs. But is it necessary that always the rent or the salary is on this basis? But no, it's not. It may be that one of our team members who we pay on a variable basis. So how is it by variable basis? This means we tell them that if you get a students who will join our classes, we will give them commission on that student, and based on that, we will pay them fees because they are doing the work of bringing in students and they act as an essential part of our sales team. They are our sales partners. So in that case, can you tell me what can we give you? Can we give you the remuneration on a per student basis? So in that case, can you tell me what would the salary become? It would be a variable. The rental agreement would be the same. Let's say the person you rented from also knows what you are going to do with this business. And he can only talk about that because he would have done this type of work before, meaning they built their place. It's not like you have to build it yourself. They already provide the classroom structure. Then they are doing the same during admission by sitting outside. We will take our commission for each and every student who comes. Accordingly, what would this cost be? Also here the rent would depend on number of students, meaning it would be a variable cost. So you have to understand that whether it is variable or fixed, we cannot tell just by its name. Like as you just told us right now, that we can call rent either fixed or variable. Salary can be called fixed or variable. So only by their name. We cannot tell that what will be their behavior. We can only treat it element wise, and further we can also consider which cost is this for us. Is it the material for us, or is it the labor, or if it could be the overhead for us, etc. But if we look at it and want to know behavior wise, then we cannot just rely on the names. We need to get at least 2 data. Like for example, when 10 students come, so what salary do you give your staff? What salary do you give the team members? And what if 20 come? Then definitely you will be able to tell that. Meaning when you have your team members, so can you tell me whether you do the payment to them on variable basis or fixed basis? That is amazingly explained, and if this is completely clear to you, you'll enjoy otherwise what you studied earlier regarding those rigid narrations on fixed and variable costs and its examples. It's a totally vague thing to understand right now. Because it's not that this is a fixed cost or that is a variable cost. It is always a changing world where any type or category can enter anywhere. So we can never call it by name. Whenever we need to talk about this or we need to understand the behavior, then we don't need to look at the name. Like when I gave example 1, I didn't give a name there. And if I check and see of what we spoke right now, that this particular thing was our rent, or was it the salary, or was it some other cost which incurred? I hope you understand. I didn't write anywhere. I simply told you that this is the cost that we assumed as X, or in other words, its name is something that we don't know. So will we call the cost as fixed or variable based on its name? No, we cannot. But generally speaking, if we talk about it, it's a different matter that rent is a fixed cost, generally. But not always. It is not fixed that always it will be same. So like this, if you give me some examples of fixed costs, then I will tell you that this will not happen. It surely depends on how you are running your business. So don't judge by the name. From next time onwards, whenever you have to judge that what kind of cost it is, whether it is fixed or variable, then don't ask the name. What will you ask? Tell me. If you get an idea of the students coming in, or if you come to know that the number of units which were sold at any cost, then you can tell that what is its behavior. I hope it is clear. Make sure to note this point, that for behavior wise cost you don't need to know about the name or the element's name. So let me tell you what you need to know about that element or its name. It is the calculation on 2 sets. Is it clear to all? According to your self notes. Right now you can write as per your running notes. That's perfect. Now I hope you understand. Okay? So, to identify the fixed costs, as you said, if we have our total cost, did you listen? Total cost, that means total value of any particular cost. Total cost is dash as the different levels of capacity. Then it is called a fixed cost. Now what you have to do is fill in the dash here. Now if we will see the sentence here, it says the total cost is dash as different levels of capacity. At different levels is dash at different levels of capacity. Then it is called a fixed cost. Tell me the total cost is dash at different levels of capacity. Yes, very good everybody. Now if we see the blank here, the word is same slash constant, which we can write as same slash constant. Don't use the word fixed. Maybe if you use the word fixed to explain fixed cost, then it will be the same thing again. And what did you study in law? That a private company is a company that is not a public company. That's the exact point what is told, and this is the definition even written in your Companies Act. So they make the points not clear, that creates confusion. Similarly, it says a public company is the company that's not a private company, and that finishes the answer. Are we the one to find out what public is and what private is? So it should be clear, right? And for variable, it would say which is not fixed or which is variable. Okay, now if we see total cost is same or constant at different levels of capacity, then it is called a fixed cost. Is it clear? We'll write an example. Write the example below this. Number 1. Now write units total cost. We will write 10,000, 1 lakh rupees, 20,000, 1 lakh rupees, In both I have written 1 lakh. Done. Now you can write this down. This is question 1. Identify the behavior of cost. Now tell me the answer here. Let me write here, it is dash cost since. Write the reason. It is a dash cost since. Write your own reason. You have to write the answer yourself. It is a dash cost since, further you have to write answer yourself. Has everyone written it? All right. The answer we have written here, it is a fixed cost since the total cost remains the same at the two levels of units or capacity. Okay. Now, next we wrote the word here, variable cost. We also understood this. Variable means what you just answered now with example, but I'll write down its definition nicely and then ask you the meaning of dash. The total cost. So if you see here, the total cost increases slash decreases. So in this dash proportion, now here if you see, it's a very important word, that is proportion. The important word is proportion, and then here it's dash. With dash proportion with increase slash decrease in capacity. Tell me, here the total cost either increases or decreases. That is in the dash proportion with either increase or decrease in the capacity, that is the quantity. Now tell me, which proportion? Proportion means on the same basis. So tell me on what basis the proportion is meant here. Tell me, which proportion? So again the word is same proportion. So here what does same proportion mean? And hence what can you say here? So from here you will draw another arrow, and what you will do is make a box and then leave it, okay? And you will leave a small box like this, and then again you will write down below example 2. And let me tell you, equal or same is the same thing. So equal proportion or same proportion is the same. All right. Okay. Total cost increases or decreases in same proportion with an increase in capacity. Make a box and leave it below. Now we'll write example 2. Write it down. Unit total cost. And in example you will write as 10,000 and 20,000. I am taking an easy example so that you can understand it properly. An expense of 1 lakh on 10,000 and 2 lakhs on 20,000. So tell me how will this be done, but let me first explain you the meaning of the word proportion. Okay, so now if you see the units, we made 20 from 10, which means we doubled it. So the proportion got doubled. So also look at the cost which got doubled. The cost got doubled as well. Okay, let's suppose that you gave 1 lakh for 10,000, and in place of 20,000, wait, do not copy what I have written here. Write 15,000 instead of 20,000, and here 1.5 lakh. So it's the same thing. If the cost become 1.5, it means 1.5 times. Because tell me what happened. Units also became 1.5 times in comparison of 10,000. Units increased by 50%. So the cost also increased by 50%. Right? 50% of 10,000 is 5,000 units. If the cost of these units are increasing by 50%, then the cost is also increasing by 50%. And as you all know, this concept is called as same proportion. Is the meaning of word same proportion clear? Since I gave a simple example of the double, it automatically became clear without any calculation. But if I make it a little odd, like 1,80,000 on 18,000, something else on 22,000 or on 1 lakh, so it will be difficult for you to calculate the proportion. Tell me yes or no. So is everything clear up to this point? All right. Now, this is fine. We just talked about the proportion which is simply visible. Here we can see that it is doubling. But is there any other way to come to this conclusion or any other property by which we can quickly conclude that this is variable, it's not fixed? I will tell you. Yes, there is one way, and you know what will you do for that? In this example, now what will you do? Calculate one more thing, that is right here the cost per unit, which means that the average cost per unit. Cost per unit, and you already know that how to calculate cost per unit. Total cost divided by total units. So how much is it? First one means how much is cost of making one unit on 10,000. 10. Did you get it? What is the cost of making one unit on 10,000? That will be 10. Look, is the cost of making one unit on 20,000 rupees. It is also coming as 10 rupees. Yes. Absolutely yes, in both cases it's 10. That is, if the per unit cost in both of the cases here is coming to be same, right? That is same here. Meaning that if on two set of units, the per unit cost is the same, then what we will call it? It will be called a variable cost. Means in variable cost also, something is constant. Tell me what will become constant. Is the total cost constant or is the cost per unit constant? Per unit cost. So tell me what can you write here after writing this? And how do we judge? So this can be judged by only looking at it. It is because I gave you the figures like this. But if figures are complicated, then you cannot just look at it and tell. You will have to calculate something. So what do you calculate? Cost per unit. Do you understand? And therefore what can I write here? So we can write here that there is one property of the variable cost which we got to know is variable cost per unit. We will write here variable cost per unit. Further write here it is always constant at different levels of capacity. Yes or no? Variable cost per unit is always constant. All right? At different levels of capacity. Is everything good till now? You all can tell me. So if we have to judge that it is variable or not, so we will see. If the total cost is increasing with increase in units, so to be variable we have to check that is the cost per unit is coming the same. If yes, then it's a variable cost. Did all of you get it? So write its answer. But first let me complete the question. Question number 1 of this, what is it? Identify the behavior of cost. So please tell me what will be the answer for this question. Tell me what will be its answer. Let us write here. The answer of this, it is a variable cost. Okay, since, but tell me what reason will you give? Everybody, what reason will you write? Please let me know if this is done. Have you noted it? Very good, everybody. Very well done. It is a variable cost. Since, now tell me further, what will be the reason the per unit cost is constant? So all of you write here, since the per unit cost is constant, rupees 10 per unit, in both places it's 10. Okay, it's very nice. Now come on, do one thing. Example 1, in which you have written the units and the total cost. So tell me, what is the fixed cost of per unit coming to us as? Or what is cost per unit? How much is coming on 10,000 and how much on 20,000, and hence tell me what can you conclude in the case of fixed cost? Which cost per unit is what? Meaning what is happening in that case? What are you able to see? Now you have to do the analysis and explain properly that if this happens, then this will happen. Case of fixed cost. So yes, as I can see, the best answer till now is of Tejas. Very nice answer. And he explained it very well. He has written that as the units are increasing, in the first case, the cost per unit was 10. And see, in the second case, it drops to 5 from 10. Means that with increase in units, the fixed cost per unit decreases. As units increase, the fixed cost per unit will start decreasing. Now think of its reason business wise. Suppose, as I told you about my business, the salary of my team members which I appointed is 20,000 or it's 1 lakh. Fine, 1 lakh. And I was teaching 10,000 students so far. So, how much expense is incurring on each of the students? Tell me. 10 rupees. But I am only thinking that if I have to collect salary from the children now, so I will have to collect 10 rupees from each of them. Isn't it? But if I increase the number of students, I'll teach 20,000 students instead of 10,000. So will that same salary will make any difference? As this was in the case of 5, the expenses that I am incurring on the students, will that be collected as 10 rupees or as 5 rupees? From each of them as salary 5 rupees will be collected. And hence, so in economics subject we used to call this economies of scale in our childhood. Where in childhood you used to study as units will increase. The average cost will fall. Which you used to call economies of scale in economics. Remember, are you able to link the theoretical stuff with the practical life? Tell me everybody. Now you must have understood me. Great. So you will write this. Right next to this example, that therefore we see fixed cost per unit which decreases with increase in the units. So now did you understand these two expenses? And you understood what you need to do to identify this? Tell me how to identify fixed costs. How to identify fixed cost? What do we need to do? Check on two sets of units. Is the total cost same? If it is, so it's fixed cost. But if the fixed cost is not the same on the two sets of the units, I'm repeating, the fixed cost is not the same on two sets of units. So tell me, what do we call that? We can call that variable cost, but there is one condition. Do you remember? What was the condition? The condition was if the cost per unit is same, so it's variable cost. Means the increase or decrease which is happening in the units. Due to it, the increase or decrease in the cost is also happening in the same proportion. And what is the best way to judge this? What will we do if it is not fixed, meaning it is changing? So tell me, what will we immediately calculate? Per unit cost. And then we will judge that it's variable or is this fixed? Tell me yes or no. We see in case of the fixed cost, generally as the units increase, per unit cost decreases. But in variable costs, we see total cost increases as units increases. Per unit cost remains same. Say yes or no. We can draw conclusion based on these two expenses. So it's been 1 hour. And I hope you must have understood these two types of behavior so far with clarity, right? After this, I will show you the third one, which will seem very easy to you. Until now, we only knew these two. Where did this third come from? Write the third name. Write the name of the third one. That is semi-variable cost. Semi-variable cost. Including, we will write in the brackets, including the slab fixed cost. Semi-variable cost, write including in brackets. Slab fixed cost, what does it mean? I will tell you. First write it down. Semi-variable cost, in brackets including slab fixed cost. Has everyone noted? Great. Listen. So what does semi-variable cost mean? We have studied in our childhood that semi means half. I just told you about variable, so means half variable and half is fixed. Look, not half variable, half fixed. We can say like this, not half, but semi means a part. A part means in this expense, some expenses are behaving like fixed and some expenses are behaving like variable. So how can it be possible? I'll tell you the truth. In this world, no cost is fixed. And in this world, no cost is variable. One thing is, every cost is a semi-variable cost. Every cost. You gave an example of rent. You just gave the example of salary. Can you tell me one thing? Does this salary and rent stay same every time? Or will they change over the period? Next year he will look into that, saying that it's a good earning, that he has been working for so many years. He wants increment. The team members will also ask for an increment as they deserve it because of hard work. They also want to grow looking at their efforts. You told fixed cost doesn't change when students change, but it did, right? So, if the number of students increases beyond a certain limit, then there will be more rent. Do we want more space? So, do we need that? Tell me. Right now we have a capacity of 200. Let's say students are increasing. So, can we accommodate those in the same place? So, will we have to incur another new fixed cost? Definitely we have to. So what this means is if number of students change beyond a certain limit up to 50, 100, 150 and 200. That is fine, but if 400 students start coming, so you will have to take another center outside and hence your fixed cost will increase. So is it that you have one student and up to 5 lakh students? The fixed cost will not remain the same. It seems same up to certain limit. So when you build a center, you won't build it for just one student. You will build a decent center that can accommodate up to 200 students like we had in our CA centers, up to a capacity of 5 to 700. We built centers with capacity of 5 to 700. Now based on that, there are admissions. Let's say that admissions are not 5 or 700, but it's more like up to 1400. If this starts happening, then what will we have to do is take another center on rent. And then we have to work there. Accordingly, is our cost increasing? Yes, it is. And that too, fixed cost is increasing because the number of students is changing, that is increasing beyond limit. But the definition of fixed cost, whether it is 10 or 20,000 or even if it becomes 50 lakh units, cost remains the same. That thing is practically not possible. It is not. Theoretically, it is just like this how I have shown you. But practically if I say, then there is no such cost. After certain limit, every expense will not remain fixed and will become variable. Think if it's yes or no. Understand the world practically. This was theory. Similarly, in the case of variable cost, if we talk about my case where I told about variable costs, let's say it is book printing. The one that you are getting for the serial, as number of students increases, then my serial cost will also increase on the same basis. My book's printing cost will also increase based on its demand. So printing cost will increase accordingly. Now you think, if I'm teaching 500 students in CMA, and for those students, the printing cost which incurred me. So my growth will happen next year, and you guys are so good that you will refer more students in future. These students will be among your friends and all. So accordingly, it will slowly increase from 500 to 800. Then slowly and gradually it can reach up to 2000. In this way, will the number of students increase? So even if your printing cost was that much for 500, then for 800 it would increase proportionally. 1200 will increase in same proportion as that for 2000. Not necessary. It might be in a sense that we are ordering more. So we can ask the printing person to reduce the rate. That we are not giving order of 500 but in bulk like 2000 all at once. And accordingly, they will be charging me a lower rate. So will my cost per unit decrease? It will decrease while it's on variable cost. And here the per unit cost of the variable cost would be the same. But it changed. So this didn't become a variable at all. Okay? So there's a limit until which these are variable and fixed. Exactly this was taught in economics during school. But you guys didn't pay attention to studies, thinking it as theory that you would remember. Do you remember you would call this in short run? All these things happen in the short run. What we talk about a small period of time. In the long run, there is nothing called fixed cost, nothing called variable cost. Nothing. But it is a cost, just a cost. It's an expense. It's fine in short run. We talk about this. This doesn't happen in the long run. And I am explaining this concept again because earlier you have studied this in the economics itself. But you never connect your studies to real life. Like I'm giving examples right now. You have those in your own home. Tell me today, when you have so many children, who are there at your home, then you are having the staff, those people who are coming to work at your home. And if suppose when they usually see you at your place, let us say, you are giving them work. You are saying that today, and you'll pay this much for work that has been done at your house. Let's say there is someone who is coming to your house and that person is helping you in preparing the food, or suppose that person is helping with the rest of the services at home, like it can be cleaning or anything else. So when you make the payment to them, so in this also you are doing it on a fixed basis, like this much is the fixed expense per month as the payment, like those living in PGs. Let's say one day you have guests coming over. If you have a lot of work to do on any particular day, then you do extra buttering to get it done. You will pay a little extra for more work that will be done. So why to give when it's fixed? Why are you giving it? You should be like, whatever work is there, that has to be done in this much time. So it doesn't matter to you as that. If it is told to work on 10 specific utensils, or it can be about making 2 vegetables or 50 vegetables, then that person will definitely leave, right? And nowadays they are more important at home. Usually at home our parents argue on this topic, who will do what when housemaid is not there? So the conclusion is, why don't we apply the conversations we hear about personal life to business and education? Think about it once. So is that always fixed for them? Or is it like they might also get a variable portion sometimes? Yes, so there is nothing called fixed or variable. It all depends from time to time. And in the long run, as things go on, things become quite changing. So we can never say that this is what's going to happen. We can't say. Theoretically we can say, but practically life is a little different. So I hope it's making sense. Hence, the semi-variable cost, in which I have written another name including slab fixed cost. I will also discuss that. So what does this mean? It means that in this particular cost, both have some of the features. That means some expenses are variable, and tell me what are some other expenses? Fixed. If this is clear to you, then we'll write this down here. Now what can we say here is that the total cost will increase or it will decrease with either it will be increase or decrease in capacity, but not in same proportion. So that means cost will change. If it increase and decrease, that will also increase and decrease. So it didn't become a variable. It's variable only when the word is in same proportion. Now I have written the word not in same proportion. If it's not increasing in same proportion, then do you know what type it becomes? It becomes what we call a semi-variable cost. Like if you ask me to give an example to you, so I'll be ready with that. But first tell me, did you write this? What happens here is the total cost increases or decreases with increase or decrease in capacity. But it is not in the same proportion. Did you write this? So look, I'm writing example number 3. You have to tell me which cost is this, okay? Then example number 3. Units total cost. Look, on 10,000 units, 1 lakh rupees. On 20,000 units, it is 1,80,000 rupees. So now you need to tell me here, what is the type of cost? First tell me, is this a fixed cost? You can say yes or no. Then your answer for this being a variable cost, it can be yes or no. And you know what do you do for that? If that cost is neither fixed nor variable, then it means it is a new type of cost which is called a semi-variable cost. So it's not fixed because with the increase in units, cost is not same. Okay, let me explain you. It is not considered variable if it is increasing. That is, we don't say it directly. Tell me one thing you identify whether it is variable or not. Here one more thing we will calculate, and that will be cost per unit. So this is what we calculate. Cost per unit. So what is this cost per unit here? As I can see, it was 10. But now when I am looking at this, it's coming out to be as 9. Did cost per unit decline? Yes, it went down. And you can see the total cost increased. Cost per unit declined, but the total cost increased. If you see in a way, then this is like two-faced personality. It has taken the feature of both. Both feature means, recall it once. What is the feature of the variable cost? It will increase if the units will increase, and it did. And what was with the fixed cost? Per unit cost will decrease if the units increase. Earlier I had written these two things there. That the one pattern which we saw in the fixed cost was this. As the units increase gradually, per unit cost will fall, and that's happening here, right? And on variable cost, we saw that as the units increase, the total cost will also increase. So that's also happening. So see, don't you think this feature acts like someone with two-faced personality? It is changing its form, its color, and its appearance. Tell me. Yes or no? So tell me that, identify. I have the same question number 1 again related to this example. Question says identify the behavior of cost. So now you have to look and tell me the answer. So if I want to make you understand clearly, then you can write the answer to this, which will be semi-variable cost. I am quite sure you understood this earlier in the session as what is semi-variable cost. Since neither the total cost that is there is the same, and nor the per unit cost is the same under two capacity levels. Correct? Neither is the total cost same, nor is the per unit cost same. Hence, this is considered to be a semi-variable cost. It is neither fixed nor it is variable. Everybody say yes or no. Perfect. I hope everything is perfect. Okay, so now I have understood that how can we judge the behavior. I want to know that what will you do when you know the behavior. Okay, what you do after knowing behavior? So what do you do if you know your friend's behavior? It's the same if the friendship should continue or not. That means if any other sort of situation comes in life, it's the same. So how will this behave? Tell me yes or no. You can completely think about it practically. Okay? Anyways, it is about cost. Once the behavior is known, right? You know what you can do now? What I'll do is, besides these two, take any set of units, be it any. For example, if I tell any unit besides 10 and 20,000, 15,000, 18,000, 25,000, 30,000, 50,000. So in that case, what you can do is calculate total cost. It is only when what you have identified, it's their behavior. Now write this down. After identification of behavior of cost, we can now find total cost of the particular element at other levels of capacity or volume. That means the output. Units, whatever word you use, it's all the same thing. After identification of behavior of cost, we can now find total cost of the particular element at other levels of capacity. Volume, output units. Perfect. Perfect. Dishant, what happened? You're quiet today. I've dictated it. Did you write it down? So make it a habit. I won't write tomorrow. Shivam, irrelevant doubts. Please don't talk about all this. You don't even know what you want to say. Will we decrease it or increase it, or will we keep it the same? Friends, what nonsense is this? I don't know. How can you even think like this? I mean, why are you saying this? The cost increase worries you. If expenses rise, earnings will increase. If we sell more units, it will be a profit. We will keep it the same. We will reduce it. All this talk is not beneficial. Now, you guys ask a lot of irrelevant questions. That's why you are my innocent students. Avinash sir said you ask too many irrelevant questions in the morning. You ruin his mood early in the morning. So I take evening classes. Don't do this, be a little practical. I am telling you again. And friends, please speak thoughtfully. You can't just say or ask whatever comes to mind. You will waste your time as well as the teacher's time, others' time, and then the course will extend like anything. Then you ask us to invite you live at the center, but if you ask such questions, then how will we be able to entertain? Everyone write it. So, now you will answer. So friends, let us now proceed to question number 2. We have solved one question from all. 3 examples. So friends, write question number 2. Find the total cost of the example. 1, 2 and 3 at 30,000 units. So friends, let's see who gets it right. The total cost of example 1 should be at 30,000 units. Is that clear? So friends, what should be the total cost of example 2 at 30,000 units? And what should be the total cost of example 3 at 30,000 units? That is whatever our purpose was. Why? To identify the behavior wise costs. And it is now clear. We are trying to figure this out so we can explain it. Now give us any set of units. We'll tell you what the cost will be on it. Tejas, please try to write all 3 together. Don't write one by one. And if anyone wants to reply, then please make sure to reply only after all 3 examples are done. That's why I am giving you as much time as you need. All right? Okay guys, what do you say? Are you ready with your answers? Please tell me the answer of example 1. The answer that came from Himanshu is 1 lakh and Sheetal has also written 1 lakh. For example 2 answer, Himanshu has written 3 lakhs and Sheetal has also written 3 lakhs. Okay. Himanshu wrote example 3's answer as 2 lakhs. 40,000. Sheetal wrote 2 lakhs 40,000. Okay. Let's see what Tejas' answer is. So Tejas' answer is 2 lakhs 60,000 for example 3. Okay. And students, I need more answers from everyone else. Use your mind to tell me what problem you're facing, that sir, this is not working out, that is not happening, and you are not able to think. Surely you can ask, sir, I couldn't think of this. Shivam says 2.6 for the third one. The first two are the same for everyone. I understood that everyone was able to solve examples 1 and 2 easily without any difficulty. Yes sir, both of them were the same and we knew how to solve them. Let's talk about example 1 since it is a fixed cost. So you can see the total cost that we are going to incur in that case. Okay, the total cost that we are going to incur in the coming time. Okay, our total cost is going to be the same. Okay friends, which is 1 lakh because it is a fixed cost. With this fixed cost there may be 30-40 units. So the cost is still 1 lakh rupees. But guys, the second example had a variable cost where you said that the unit cost will remain the same. And hence how will you work in case of the second example? You will say rupees 10 per unit multiplied by 30,000 per units, which means it will cost rupees 3 lakhs. Because the cost of each unit is fixed per unit wise, that it will cost only 10 rupees. It will cost 3 lakhs for 30,000 units. But for this example 3, we are a bit confused about it. Some say 240, others say 260. Let me tell you, what are you doing wrong? Those who are saying that will calculate it in 30,000 rupees, I don't know how they will. But friends, if you really want to calculate 30,000, where it can be sold, what happens if 10,000 becomes 20,000? What will happen if 20,000 becomes 30,000? It's a very simple thing. And we will discuss this again in the next class. But right now, I'm giving you a favor. Listen to me carefully. Tell me friends, if 10 becomes 20, then by how much did the cost increase? Tell me, if 10,000 becomes 20,000, how much did the cost increase? Increased from 80,000. Tell me, this increase which happens, what cost increase is that? Which cost is the increased cost? Please understand that the variable part must be increasing. The fixed one will remain the same, so the cost increased by 80,000. That is, if we make 20,000 units instead of 10,000, the cost isn't increasing by 1 to 2 lakhs, it's only changing by 80,000. Let's do a good calculation and ask your father also when he comes home, what is the answer to this? Father does not know about studies like you. Father may not know what these things are, but he'll give the right answer. And you guys make all these mistakes. I'm trying to say, if the cost is 1 lakh for 10,000, 180 for 20,000, the cost increased by 80,000 for 10,000 more units. Okay, so the 30,000 will increase by another 10,000. It will cost another 80,000. That is, if you add 80 to 1 lakh and it becomes 180, then add another 80. Units are increasing from 10,000. Friends, what is the answer? The answer will come as 1 lakh or 2 lakh. Any idea? Tell me, it's 2 lakhs. 60,000. 2 lakhs, 60,000. And we will discuss this topic in detail in the next class. You must have understood. You studied hard. You have been studying for 1 hour and 40 minutes. And I think that's more than enough for all of you. You might not feel like finishing this class, but there's no other option. And discuss this topic. And if you didn't understand this, then we will discuss it properly in next class, where I will tell you in detail why it is this way. So understood? Think about it before coming to the next class. And today when you go home, whatever business your mom and dad are doing, whoever is related to business or service, your brother, sister or any senior, or your uncle and father, whoever is doing business, then discuss with them once that today we were studying this and we were not able to answer, we were not able to think. Then see what they will say, that you can't do it. Bye friends.